The entire future of the US and China relationship is in jeopardy, and that could turn out to be a disaster for the future of our world. Tensions rose to new levels this week as Nancy Pelosi, second in line to the president, arrived in Taiwan. Nancy is the highest-ranking US government official to visit Taiwan since 1997, and despite the White House and State Department both advising her not to go, Nancy fulfilled her own agenda. Smart diplomacy is now needed more than ever, and as an American citizen who has spent 10 years living in China and a total of 15 years abroad, I've decided to bring my international experience back home, repatriate to the United States, and serve as a cultural bridge between the US and China on American soil. Now, many of you might be surprised that I'm heading back to the United States of America. The headlines in America are absolutely crazy. Inflation is at an over 40-year high. We're heading right into the middle of a recession. Violence in America is at all-time highs. And the political system, quite frankly, is the weakest it's ever been. And this is a really big struggle for America's democracy. As crazy as it sounds, being an American and living abroad for so long, I've really started to miss America. And when you see your country, your home country, a place that you were born and raised, and that again, you're very proud to represent, when you see your country really starting to struggle, I've honestly wanted to come back and be part of a change to help make America a better place. There's one famous quote that I always go by, and that is, be the change that you want to see in the world. And this is something that really rings true to my heart. For you to better understand what I mean, let me share with you a recent tweet from Laura Ingraham, who works for Fox News and really represents a very dark path that the United States is currently going down. At this point, we have to assume that anyone in DC who doesn't oppose China is working for China. Now, this statement is so extreme to me because there are so many things about the country of China that are amazing. We look at the people, the history, the culture, the language, the food. There are a plethora of things about China, the country, that are truly amazing. And the United States has benefited tremendously over its more than 50-year relationship with China. We have been actively recruiting some of the best and most talented Chinese minds that have come to America, studied in our universities, and become part of our amazing American economy. And again, our US economy absolutely depends on a strong relationship with China. And this is something that I have been constantly preaching about for the past 2 years. The United States and China are strategically linked at the hip for the foreseeable future. China owns trillions of dollars of United States debt, and there's nowhere else in the world that they can unload that debt. China will hold that debt for the foreseeable future. In addition to that, the United States is absolutely dependent on the manufacturing of China to drive our local economy. And it's so important that more Americans understand how this global economy works. You see, I'm one of the rare Americans that has had the opportunity to live abroad. I've been living abroad for over 15 years. I've traveled to so many countries, and it really has taught me to have an open mind. And now it's time to come back to the United States to share some of these experiences and connect more with local people here on the ground. This is what one of my biggest missions and one of my biggest reasons for coming back to the United States is. I want to start making a difference back in my home country and help more Americans understand this very complex and really amazing world that we live in. And I have good news for everybody. Thankfully, the average American is a lot more open-minded than what's represented in media or what many people around the world actually think. You see, whenever I'm back here in the United States, people will inevitably ask me, Cyrus, what do you do for a living? And I say, I help people understand China. Now, the reason that I say this is that it always invites a follow-up question. People will always look at me puzzled. They'll be like, well, what does that mean? What do you do? And I say, come to my YouTube channel. Come explore China with me. Let me help you understand a little bit more about this amazing relationship that we have with this rising superpower and how the United States and China can learn to work together. I always tell people my famous quote, when the United States and China work together, the entire world is going to win. And again, by relocating back to the United States, I'm going to have a better platform for me to spread this message. Now everybody, let's take a break from today's message, and I want to give a huge thank you to Sheath Underwear, who is actually the sponsor of today's important message. This is Sheath Underwear, which is the most advanced underwear that honestly I have ever tried. Now many of you know that in addition to my work as an analyst and as someone that studies geopolitics, I'm also a professional athlete, and I'm also looking for something that's going to help me improve my life both on the golf course and in the business world. And let's go ahead and open this up. I want to share with you some of the amazing features of this underwear. Now, the real difference in sheath underwear is how they built this, because what they want to do is they want to prevent friction and skin touching skin. You're gonna see that they invented this kangaroo pouch for your downstairs parts. And honestly, I know it sounds a little bit strange, but guys, I really want you to try this out, because what this does is this allows you to have a lot of breathability. It allows you to have better performance. And honestly, if you're a businessman, if you're an athlete, if you're a sportsman, if you're active outdoors, this is really going to be a game changer for you in your life. And there's one other reason that I wanted to bring Sheath Underwear on as the sponsor for today's video, and that is because the founder of this company is a proud American citizen. This is an American company, but interesting enough, all of these products are manufactured in China. Like I mentioned earlier, when you speak to successful businessmen in America, people that understand how this global economy works, people like the founders of Sheath Underwear, they understand that we need China. We need China to help manufacture these goods. We need a good working relationship with China. So for all the guys out there that are following this channel, or the ladies, if you're looking for something for your man, make sure that you try this Sheath Underwear. I guarantee you, you're gonna love it. Simply go to sheathunderwear.com/Cyrus. You're gonna save an incredible 20% off the retail price. But now back to our video, and let me tell you the final 2 reasons why I'm decided to move back to the United States. Now, the second reason that I want to move back is I have a large desire to get involved in local politics here in America. Earlier this year, I made a video about gun violence in the United States, and this is something that I really want to speak more about, because I want to take some of the lessons that I've learned from living abroad and start sharing that with people, and hopefully start making a change here on American soil. In addition to that, this November, the United States has a very important midterm election. This is honestly a really important time for the United States. As someone who's an ambassador for the United States and China relationship and an active builder of bridges between these two countries, I really feel that it's important for me to be on American soil right now. Earlier this year, I was invited to Vanderbilt University to give a speech about China and the United States, and I shared the stage with Ryan Hass, who is a diplomat who works for the United States government in a think tank in Washington, D.C. The amazing thing about Ryan Hass is that he is an American that has had an opportunity to also live in China. He's a diplomat that worked in the United States Embassy. And again, this is something that I want more people around the world to understand. Whenever you connect with Americans that have lived abroad, and someone like Ryan Hass, who has authored a book on China, he understands very much a little bit more about this complex relationship between the United States and China. Honestly, him and I connected very well, and many of our thoughts were actually the same. And it was really refreshing to hear somebody that has a close connection to Washington, D.C., and most importantly, someone that has also lived in China start speaking some of this truth. One of the things that Ryan Hass recently shared is that Nancy Pelosi also shouldn't be going to Taiwan right now, and that the best strategy of that would be to postpone that visit to later. And this again, this is smart diplomacy, this is smart geopolitical thinking, and this is part of what I want to be involved in. So everyone, I really want to thank you for your amazing support over the last 2.5 years as we have grown this channel into something that's very powerful, and I now have a social media presence. I have a voice, and again, I want to be using this voice to make an active change in the world and make this world a better place. Because I'm now going to be based in the United States, what you're going to see in the future is also some different type of content. I'm going to be going on to the streets of America, talking with real Americans and asking them questions. And I want to be sharing with you, my domestic fans and my international fans around the world, more insights into what America is really like. Because America and our political system does have a very big influence around the world, and I really want more people to understand it, but I want more Americans to also understand, how our world really works. So you're going to see a lot more exciting content moving forward. In addition to that, I'm actually filming from a new co-working space that I've actually rented, and I have an office just behind me that we're actually going to build out and make a formal recording studio. In the future, I'm going to have more live streams, I'm going to have more interviews, and I'm really excited to be back here on American soil, and again, taking this channel and taking my journey as this ambassador for the United States and China and taking it to the next level with all of your amazing support. Everyone, my name is Cyrus Jansen. As always, I want to thank all of you for your incredible support. If you would like to be a part of this mission and you'd like to be a part of our team, I'm going to drop a link down below as well to come and join us on Patreon. On Patreon, you can get exclusive access to weekly podcasts and exclusive videos from me, and you can join our team as we continue to build this community and we continue to be that change that you want to see in the world. In addition, I want to give one more thank you to Sheath Underwear for sponsoring today's important message. Again, guys, if you are looking for a premium underwear, this is something that I highly recommend. Make sure you click that link to save an incredible 20%. I'm so excited to be here in the United States, and make sure that you stay tuned and for more important content, more live streams, more shows, and more epic content that's going to be coming your way. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, drop me a comment down below, and I look forward to seeing you all in next week's video.